I can't give you 5 houses I've went in and I saw a thesaurus. Hey, gorgeous. 20 years, and I can't give you 5 houses where I saw a complete set of encyclopedia. And don't tell me you gotta be rich to get a set of encyclopedia, because my mother got my first set from the Goodwill for $5. A through Z and a couple extra ones too. The problem is, your child isn't interested in their education, and many of you are not either. Many of you are not either. See, what you call a learning disability, I call a lazy disability. What you call a learning disability, I call a lazy disability. It's not that your son can't learn how to read. He don't care. It's not that your daughter can't learn how to count. She don't care. And you not gonna make them. Oh, that's right. See, most of the time, when I do a psychological evaluation, I psychologically evaluate your child, and then I come back to the meeting with the report. And you know what my diagnosis is? It ain't reading disability. It ain't autism. It ain't ADHD. It ain't emotional disturbance. It ain't math disability. You know what the diagnosis is? Poor, trifling parent. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah, tell the truth.
Poor, trifling parent. There's nothing wrong with this child except you. See, if I was in charge, we wouldn't diagnose kids, we diagnose the houses they come from. The house is the problem, not the child. The house is the problem, not the child. And let me say this. Your child should not wait till kindergarten to learn how to write his damn name. Your child should not wait to kindergarten to be able to write his address. Your child should not wait to kindergarten to know his numbers, his letters, his colors, his sizes, his shape. What the hell he been doing for 5 years at home? Shaking his booty, dancing to reality shows, and then you bring this black boy who you didn't teach nothing to for 5 years, and you bring him to Nashville public school, and you think those white women gonna have any patience with your child? First thing they gonna say, he must be learning disabled. He ain't learning disabled. He never been taught. If you don't do it, the school definitely won't do it. Now, the reason you don't get 4th graders tested, the reason you don't get 3rd graders tested, the reason you don't get 2nd graders tested, the reason you don't get 1st graders tested, the reason you don't get kindergartners tested is because the learning disability is not a fact. You cannot prove a learning disability. The learning disability is an opinion. That's right. Let me say it again. The learning disability is not a fact. It is an opinion. Let me say it one more time, in case you didn't hear me. I cannot prove that your child has a reading disability. I cannot prove that your child has a math disability. You can't prove it. I know. I'm the best school psychologist in the country. You can't prove it. So how do we diagnose a child if you can't prove whether or not they have the disability? I'm going to tell you what we do. You sign your name and you give permission for Raheem to be evaluated by the school psychologist. Some old white dude. The school psychologist gonna go to your child class, get your child, and he gonna bring your child to his school psychology office. And when your child comes into the school psychology office, we're gonna give him a series of tests. We're gonna give him an intelligence test. We're gonna give him a reading test. We're gonna give him a math test. We're going to give them an adaptive behavior assessment, a psychological assessment, a behavioral assessment. We're going to observe them in the class. We're going to talk to the parent. We're going to talk to the teacher. We're going to look at the test scores. We're going to look at the attendance. We're going to review all previous data. And guess what? After we look at all this information, did any one of those tests tell me your child was learning disabled? Did any one of those tests tell me your child had ADHD? Did any of those tests tell me your child was retarded? Did any of those tests tell me your child was emotionally disturbed? Hell no. So how did we decide that he was reading disabled? It is based on one thing and one thing only: professional opinion. I'm gonna say it again. Every psychological diagnosis, a professional opinion. Every child is in special ed because of a professional opinion. There ain't no blood test to prove a learning disability. There ain't no urine sample to prove a learning disability. There ain't no x-ray to prove a learning disability. There ain't no CAT scan to prove ADHD. It is all imagination. That's right. But what you do need to know is special education is a business. Nashville, I hope you listen to Nashville. Special education is a business. What do I mean when I say special ed is a business? You know what that means? That means if I evaluate one black boy, two black boys,
you're getting paid.
Three black boys, every time I put one of them black boys in special education, guess what happens?
They get a check.
The school get a welfare check. I hope y'all listening to me. Let me tell you why special ed really exists. This is about dollars and cents, baby. Your child been in special ed since first grade. He's in 12th grade, still can't read. Your child been in special ed since the 6th grade. He in 11th grade, still can't count. So if special ed does not work, if special ed does not work, why is it still here? Because it brings extra money into the school. Extra money into the school. Special ed is a business. That's all it is. It is a hustle of making money off black kids you never taught in the first place. Making money off black kids you never taught in the first place. Making money off black kids who mommy and daddy let them grow up thinking they're gonna be a rapper. No damn rappers coming out of Nashville. The hell wrong with y'all? They barely come out of Philly. We get one Beanie Siegel, one Meek Mill, that's it. Y'all get one or two. Young Buck, that's it. No damn rappers coming out of here. Or you got your son thinking he gonna be an NFL superstar. He gonna be an NBA superstar. And guess what? I ain't got a problem with your son wanting to be a football player or a basketball player. I got a problem with the fact that if he is not successful, you don't have a plan B ready for that black boy. That's my problem. He might be good enough to go to the NFL. He might be good enough to go to the NBA. But if he does not make it, then what? You gonna become a drug dealer? Stealing cars? Hustling numbers? Stop letting your sons grow up believing that they're gonna be a millionaire the easy way. Do you know how many black boys make it to the NFL? Less than 1%. Do you know how many black boys make it to the NBA? Less than 1%. Less than 1%. Your son has a greater chance of being struck by lightning than making it to the NFL. A greater chance of being struck by lightning than making it to the NBA. So why are you letting him think he's going to be some sort of professional superstar? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You got to bring them back down to earth, back down to reality. And the first thing you do is take responsibility for the fact you didn't do a good job reinforcing academics. The learning disability is a joke. Now let's talk about ADHD. Let's talk about ADHD. Where did we get this from? Where did this ADHD come from all of this? Out of nowhere. You know when we got ADHD? 1987. 1987 is when the American Psychiatric Association dropped off ADHD in the black community. Why did they do that? Because the 1980s is the same decade that the CIA dropped off crack cocaine. I'm gonna say it again.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say it again. They dropped off the crack in 1980, and they dropped off the Ritalin in 1987. If you don't believe me, do your research.
Yes, sir.
They started doping up black boys and doping up black men the same damn time. The same damn time. Now let's look at the criteria for ADHD. Let's look at this thing. Can't sit still, has difficulty playing quietly, blurts out answers, acts as if he's driven by a motor, loses things necessary to get his work done, has trouble staying focused and sustaining attention.
That's everybody in my class.
Can I ask you a question?
Right.
Didn't I just describe every Negro in this park?
Yes, sir.
I described everybody in this park, including myself.
Yes, sir.
That is normal behavior for a boy. Why am I expecting him to play quietly?
Right, right.
Why am I expecting him to remain focused? He's a child. He's a child. The problem with Nashville public schools is schools are run by females. Here we go. Schools are run by females. White females and black females. When the black boy shows up for school in Tennessee, he faces two obstacles. The first one, he's a boy in a female-dominated industry. Education is a female-dominated industry. So the black boy is expected to act like a white girl. And when the black boy cannot act like a white girl, he is diagnosed with ADHD.
You said something
I'm
else.
going to say it again.
Go ahead.
There's not a psychologist in your state who will debate me on this. Coon or Caucasian. You can get a coon or a Caucasian. They don't want none of me.
Pop your
I'm
shit.
a psychologist in America want to debate Dr. Umar Johnson. You see what I did to Roland Martin's fat ass? But let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. You'll never try that again. Let's stay focused. ADHD is the pathologization of normal boy behavior. See, black boys with male teachers don't get evaluated for ADHD. When the last time you had a male teacher tell you your son need medicine? You don't see no men putting boys on medicine, because we know how boys supposed to act.
Right.
We know that boys got energy. We know that boys need to play around and run. Ain't no boy, no black man putting no black boy on no damn drugs. Only the teachers that are women. ADHD is being driven by white women in the school. Test. 1, 2.
We bet.
If your child is diagnosed with ADHD, it's only for 2 reasons. Some female teacher said he couldn't sit still, and some black mother simply did what she was told to do. That's it. That's it. That's it. ADHD is white teachers and black mothers. That's it. Nothing else. Y'all know I just bought a school in Wilmington, Delaware, right?
Congratulations.
And I want to thank y'all, Tennessee. I want to thank Tennessee, because over the past 5 years, I got a lot of checks, donations from Tennessee. They came from Nashville, Chattanooga, Memphis, Knoxville, all over the place. So thank you, Tennessee. And if any of y'all want to work at my school, send me a resume. FDMGresumes with an S at gmail.com. I repeat, if you want to work at my school, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Pan-African Excellence, you can send your resume to fdmgresumes at gmail.com. But I want to be clear. For all my black men out here, if you got a white girl at home, your ass can't work at my school. I want to be absolutely clear there.
I heard that.
I don't play those games. We don't swirl at my school. Okay? So if you got a Chinese girl, stay your ass in Nashville. Got your little Latina, little Arab, little cute East Indian, No, you got your little hook-nosed European. Keep her ass in Nashville. At my school, the only black men that can work with me is black men who love black women. That's the only thing I'm missing. That's the only thing I'm missing. And for my beautiful African sisters, the same law applies to you. Because some of y'all out here swirling with these damn Caucasians. So a sister yesterday with old nasty looking Italian. No, damn well she ain't had no business with him. Y'all don't even match. But you're dating him because he white. Because blue eyes is attractive to you. But guess what, black woman? You can't work at my school if you ain't got your own natural hair. I just want to be honest today. I don't mean to upset you. I'm just being honest. Any black woman working at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy will be 100% nappy by nature, or you will not be employed.
Yes, sir.
That's right. No weave, no perm, no extension, and damn sure no blonde European hair colors. No. And guess what? Once we open up the boys' school, we got to open up the girls' school. We're going to have the Anna Douglas Amy Garvey Academy for the girls. Oh, yes, we are. And we also working on building a dormitory in Wilmington, Delaware. So for those of y'all who want to send your children on up to the East Coast to get an education, you'll be able to do it. Your daughter can come to my school with locks. She can have twisties. She can have an afro, a Caesar, a blowout, but it better be hers. This will be a 100% nappy by nature institution. I want to be clear about that. I want to make sure y'all understand. And then black women get mad at me. Who are you to tell us how to wear our hair? I can't tell you how to wear your hair, but I can tell you how your ass gonna act in my school. You understand me? And in my school, we are Africans. We ain't African Americans, we Africans. I don't even know what the hell an African American is. What the hell is that? How can you be half slave master and half slave? How you gonna be half rapist and half rape? How you gonna be half victim and half victimizer? How you gonna be half God and half devil in the same body? Ain't no such thing as an African American. Where did we get that word from? Y'all know where we got that word from? Jesse Jackson. Messy ass Jesse Jackson. In 1988, Jesse Jackson, fresh off a presidential bid, says I got to do something to make black folks think I changed something. So you know what he does? He ain't changed the laws. He didn't create no jobs. He didn't get nobody out of jail, but he came out of an Urban League conference with a new name for you. You're no longer Negro, you're African American. And you've been running around with that name for the longest because you think that if you get the right name, you can get free. Everywhere I go, Negroes is running up to me in the airport. Doc, what should we call ourselves? Are we Nawapians? Are we Hebrews? Are we Moors? Are we indigenous? Are we Asiatic? Your ass crazy. That's what she is. Because you don't realize none of those names is going to do anything about your political reality. None of those names are going to do anything about your economics. Speaking of economics, can y'all answer me a question? Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Music City. Y'all spend about $2 billion on Christmas gifts every year. Did y'all know that? Right here in Nashville. Nashville Negroes. Y'all! Okay, I know you came out here to act like you're a whole temper, but you go right back and be a European tomorrow. I know how it goes. You put on your dashiki and wrap your damn head up, and you go right back to work looking like a damn 19th century Anglo-Saxon. Black people in Nashville spend $2 billion on Christmas every year. Here's my question. If you spend $2 billion on Christmas gifts, let me be clear, I'm not talking about Jesus. I got a tattoo of Jesus on my left shoulder. You know the black one? Because you know it's two Jesuses in Tennessee, right? There's two Jesuses in Tennessee. You got Jesus Christ and you got Jesus Cracker. It's two of them. Now, I don't know which one you're praying to, but let me help you figure it out. Jesus Christ was a blue, black, purple African. Jesus Cracker looked like Michael Bolton. Jesus Christ, you understand, was from the tribe of Judah, the blackest of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jesus Cracker looked like Eminem's uncle. Okay? Jesus Christ was hung from a tree with a noose, if you read the original Bible. Not no cross. It was a tree with a noose. Just like they did Nat Turner, the next Christ. But you ain't ready for that. Jesus Cracker was hung from a cross. Which Jesus do you pray to? Do you pray to the black one or the one your slave master gave you? Now, some of you Negroes are going to get mad at me and say, what does the color of Christ got to do with anything? It got everything to do with it. Because it's about telling the truth about who you are spiritually. See, the brain that we have, this thing that God gave us, stores all information in pictures and images. I want y'all to stay with me. Your brain stores all data in pictures and images. If I take this young brother right here to church every Sunday, and he sees a white Jesus every single week, and he sees his mommy and daddy and grandma praying to a white Jesus every single week, by the time he's 8 years old, his brain will automatically draw the conclusion that if God is white and all-powerful, it makes sense for Donald Trump to be white and all-powerful. If God is white and all-powerful, it makes sense for the governor of Tennessee to be white and all-powerful. If God is white and all-powerful, it makes sense for the police in Tennessee shooting down black folks are all white and powerful. In other words, why should he ever fight back against racism when he was taught in church that is meant by God for white folks to be in charge? You have to be very careful of how you allow people to program the minds of their children. Let me give you another example. I had most of my friends are principals and psychologists, right? One of my principal friends called me up. She said, Dr. Umar, I need you to come to my house and talk to my son. Her son was 16 years old, about to go on the senior prom. His mother, my friend, was angry at her son because her black son chose a white girl to go to the senior prom. She said, you got to come talk to him, Dr. Umar, because I didn't raise him like that. I said, time out. Are you sure you didn't raise him like that? She said, no, I never told him that white girls and that I told him to be with black women. I said, but did you demonstrate that behavior yourself? She said, what are you talking about? I said, as long as I've known you, you've been a blind, weave-wearing teacher. Has your son ever seen your natural hair? Wow. Ever since I known you, you've been green and blue contacts. Ever since I've known you, you've been trying to lose weight as much as you can to look like old skinny, sick white girl. I said, so if your son grows up in a house where his mother wants to look like a white girl, act like a white girl, wear her hair like a white girl, why are you surprised he want to take a white girl to the prom?
Okay.
See, a lot of black mothers get mad at their sons for coming home with a white girl. You the reason. How do you wear your hair? You the reason. Who you trying to look like? You the reason. Who contacts in your eyes? You the reason.
Man.
And I'm so sick of black women with this weight loss thing y'all doing. Oh, it looks disgusting. Lord have mercy. Let me talk about this weight loss. Black women, I need you to be clear about something. God made you a certain way. He didn't make you to be a white girl. But I see black women all across America starving themselves, getting tummy tucks, stomach surgery, because you're supposed to be 150 pounds, but you want to be 95. And what you fail to realize, I need every black woman to hear me. Your body got to match the size of your damn head. Listen.
Keep it real.
See, African people, we are the original people of the universe, right?
Yes, sir.
So we got bigger heads than everybody else. I got a big head because I was breastfed. Anybody was breastfed, you got a big head. A lot of black women, you got large heads to go with your body. So when a black woman with a big head, the head is meant for a 170-pound body, but now you done sucked all up, and now you got a big gallon head on a 75-pound body. You look like a damn giggle doll that you get at the McDonald's. Your head gotta match your body. And then when y'all lose all that weight, y'all get mad when we don't like it. That's not cute. I miss those curves. What happened to the curves? You done gave up the curves to look like a white girl. Not attractive. And now I got to walk around holding your damn head up because it's tight. My young African princesses, don't you ever distort your body. If you want to lose weight, go on a diet, but don't you cut, tuck, or none of that. You understand?
Oh, I wish
Because
I
I don't
had
have to come
Daisy
back
here
to
with me.
Nashville and hold up your damn head. Do
Your
you
mama
understand?
needs to hear this shit too.
And by the way, black brothers, we the reason most of our sisters not natural in the first place.
Yeah?
It ain't the black woman's fault that she wear weave and perm. I don't want no black woman to feel bad out here today. I love all y'all. It's the black man's fault you wear weave and perm. The black woman wants to be attractive to the black male. And when she studies the black male, she can tell that the black male is only attracted to women who look like the European female. That's right. That's right, brothers. That's right. We the reason our sisters is giving the China man $20 billion a year. $20 billion a year on weave and perm. If we want our sisters to go natural, all we got to do is say, baby, I'm giving you till New Year's Day. And then I got to hit the road. Because I don't want nothing. See, I don't date women who not natural. I don't. And if I meet them and they not natural, you got 6 months. Why do I give them 6 months and not 6 weeks? Because I'm a barber. I cut hair, right? And I know because y'all been perming so long, you got scalp damage. And you got to give your black queen time to outgrow the scalp. She got tracks in there, ringworms, craters, burnt scalp.
Well, damn.
So, brother, you don't give them 6 weeks, you give them 6 months. And black woman, let me tell you a little secret. Stop playing with the bald spot, trying to patch it up. Go bald and start new. This is the only way to do it. So y'all want to save the good hair? You want to cover up the ringworm? No! Y'all better stop laughing. You gotta go bald and start fresh. And black man, I know somebody selling some shea butter out here. Because there's always shea butter with black folks. In fact, I'm trying to figure out when did shea butter take over cocoa butter. Because and then I heard somebody had an almond butter taking over the shea butter. So what you do is you get you a bottle of shea butter. And before your baby go to sleep at night, brothers, you warm up some of that shea butter, make it nice and creamy and warm, and you massage your woman's scalp. Kiss that head, kiss the ringworm, kiss the burn spot. And you gotta talk to her head and say, please grow, because I can't take it. And if you talk to her hair will grow on back. I want to go back to a couple things. This ADHD. Because a lot of y'all getting phone calls every day that your son can't act right? And they call you up and say, you got to come get him, right? This is what I need y'all to do. Don't go up there to get him no more. Don't go, see, when you go get the child, they don't have to call that a suspension. That's an early dismissal. The principal don't get in trouble for early dismissal. But if he over-suspends your child, he can get in trouble for systematically denying him the education. So stop picking up the kids. Because all you doing is letting the principal off the hook. Do y'all hear me? Stop picking them up. Now, if your child is in special education, which means they have an IEP, I need to tell you a little secret. Got a little secret for my special ed parents. Now, I wish he was not in special ed, but since he's in there, we got to fight for him, right? How many days can a child with an IEP be suspended every year in the United States of America? There's a certain number. Guess what the number is? 10.
I knew it.
I hope y'all listening to me. They can only suspend a special ed child 10 total days. I didn't say 10 each time. I said 10 total. Why is that important? Some of y'all got kids with IEPs been suspended 20 days already. School only been back a month. And I'm going to tell you something else you better do. Keep a record of your child's suspensions yourself. Keep a record of your child's suspensions yourself. Why? Because let me tell you what my principal friends do. They don't record all the suspensions because they know if they go past 10, they're going to get in trouble. So you got to make sure you keep a record of all the suspensions. So if they go past 10, guess what we're going to do? You're going to call up Dr. Umar. You're going to say, Dr. Umar, I saw you down in Nashville. You told me to keep a track of my son's suspensions. Well, guess what, Doc? My son been suspended 11 days already this year. That's one more than the law says. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to call an IEP meeting. What is the IEP team? The IEP team is the regular ed teacher that teaches the child, the special ed teacher that teaches the child, the principal of the school, and the parent. You four people are the IEP team. What are the responsibilities of the IEP team? Number one, they create the learning program for the disabled child. Number two, they decide where the disabled child is going to receive their special ed. Number three, they have to make sure special education is benefiting the disabled child. I repeat, the IEP team, three responsibilities: develop the program that the child will learn, determine the placement where the child will learn it, and to monitor the progress to make sure the child is benefiting from special education. So once they suspend your child 11 days, guess what you're going to do? You're going to request an IEP meeting to talk about what? The placement. And you're going to go to the meeting. And what is Dr. Umar's rule for the meeting? Never go by yourself. Never go by yourself. Never go to a meeting by yourself. Did y'all hear me? Black men, same rule applies to you. Because if you get caught in that room with that old flat butt white girl by yourself, okay, she will say you looked at her wrong. Or she will say you raised your voice. And the next thing you know, you're being escorted out in handcuffs, and then you want to get a restraining order. I told you, don't get caught with white girls by yourself. You don't believe me? Come back to Philly. Let's go talk to Bill Cosby. Find out what happened when you get caught with white girls by yourself. And I feel sorry for Bill Cosby. Me and Bill Cosby from the same North Philly neighborhood. I hurt for Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby legally blind. Y'all know that? Bill Cosby can't see. Bill Cosby in prison up in Philadelphia right now. He needs two people to go to the bathroom, two people to take a shower, two people to get dressed, two people to eat his food. This is what they doing to the #1 television star, black male in American history. Remember, if there was no Bill Cosby, there would have been no Richard Pryor. Bill Cosby was first. And look what they did to Bill Cosby. And why did they do it? Because he tried to buy NBC. He tried to buy it 20 years ago. They killed his son on the side of the highway while he was changing a tire. But Bill Cosby said, I'm going to get that network. They said, you want to do this again? You're going to pay again. Bill Cosby said, I'm going to do it again. He had the money to do it. Next thing you know, they found 40 nasty Anglo-Saxon females who all woke up at the same time and went to the news and said, Bill Cosby assaulted me sexually. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't trivialize sex abuse. Why is that? Because black women suffer more sex abuse than any woman in this country. I don't trivialize. But you cannot convince me that a black man in 1970, 1980 sexually abused a privileged white girl and she said nothing for 40 years. He didn't abuse one. It was like 40 nasty looking things that was on that TV show. Nasty looking. Who would want to abuse you? You look like you was abusing him. And they all went and got a lawyer and they sued Bill Cosby together. And did you know that the case got thrown out before? And then the white girl came back and sued again under the same case. And guess why it survived this time? She made the complaint one day before the statute of limitations was over. The last day, she lodged the complaint. And the district attorney ran for office on the platform that he will see Bill Cosby put in jail. See, I keep trying to tell black men who date white girls that you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Because she's white. She has the whole power structure on her side. You saw what happened to Ezekiel Elliott last season when his white girlfriend told him, call the police. Call them. They're not going to listen to you. You black. And guess what? He went back and got another nasty looking Neanderthal. O.J. Simpson got off. I don't know if he did it or not, but he got off. I see O.J. Simpson at All-Star Weekend in Philadelphia, year 2000, 19 years ago. You just got off of a double murder. You just beat a double murder. You would think you go get a black woman, right? This Negro was in Philly with two nasty looking white girls. See, I know why y'all laughing. Y'all not used to a PhD black man giving y'all the truth. Most PhD black men are coons. That's right, a damn coon. Act white, talk white, live white, dress white, not me. See, I snuck in to get my doctorate. When I went for my interview, I put on the tightest white suit I could find. My neck was tight. I walked in there with the Caucasians. They said, what you want to come here for? I said, oh my God, I don't know where to begin. I always wanted to be a psychologist since I was a child, and I studied your Dr. Slurbanowski, and she's received awards from the Academy of Child Neuropsychological Science for her research in prepubescent, prenatal, prefrontal psychological development. I would love to study under her. And they said, oh my God, you know so much about us. I said, yes. They said, go outside, we're going to talk about you. I went outside, they called me back. I had my tight suit on, so I had to. And then 5 years later, there was a black woman in the psychology program. She told the white folks who I really was. True story. She said, do y'all know who that is? I said, who? Umar, he's harmless. She said, oh no, he's not. She pulled up YouTube, psychoacademic war. Shit! The white folks sent me a letter, they kicked me out the program. I said, nah, family. I done spent too much money to be with you nasty white folks for 7 years. I'm going to get my damn paper. So I told them I got a decision. Either I'm going to finish this program or I'm going to make y'all famous. The decision is yours. I will have every black person in Philadelphia up here tomorrow make a decision, Caucasians. And they said, let him finish his damn program. This Negro crazy. That's how I got my doctorate. Then last year, the Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology tried to strip me in my school psych paper. They called me up there, so I got to go in there. And guess what the evidence was? A Breakfast Club interview. Wow. You brought me to the state capital of Pennsylvania, and you put on Charlemagne to prove that I broke the law. Lord have mercy. Brothers and sisters, 2 weeks ago, on August the 21st, I was in Nat Turner land, Virginia. Everybody know who Nat Turner is, right? Well, I'm born on the date of the Nat Turner War, August the 21st. So every birthday, I drive 5 hours from Philadelphia to Nat Turner land, Virginia. And we relive the Nat Turner War. We go to the church where Nat Turner preached at. We go to the cabin where his wife lived. We go to the courthouse where he was incarcerated. We go to the ground where Nat Turner lost his life. And then we sit and we meditate and we talk and we plan. And 2 weeks ago, on my birthday, August the 21st, we did it again. But it was more significant this time because it was the 400 years of blacks in America. Y'all do know we've been here 400 years. We was here longer than that, but under white oppression, 400 years. So Nashville, Tennessee, as I begin to start to wrap it up a little bit, we got to change some things this century. We can't go into this 5th century the way we went into the previous 4. So what are some of the changes we got to make? And don't worry, black parents, I'm going to make sure you have my phone number. In fact, I'm going to give y'all my phone number now. I'm not done, but I want y'all to take your phone out. This way, no children. You cannot take my phone. Too many pedophiles in the world. No children, only adults. Phone number, 215-989-9858. I repeat, 215-989-9858. One more time, 215-989-9858. Ladies, it ain't that type of party. Keep your thirst to yourself. Listen up. I gave you my number, so if you ever have any problems with your child, you can contact me. So I don't ever want to hear ever again in the history of Black Nashville that somebody wanted to put your child in special ed or expel them out the school, or diagnose them as retarded, or say they got a reading disability and you didn't know what to do because you got the best black school psychologist in American history on your damn cell phone. Excuses is over. Excuses is over after today. No more excuses. I don't want to hear it. Now, somebody asked me earlier, my child is in special ed and he don't need to be there. What can I do? My child is in special ed and he don't need to be there. What can I do? All you have to do is request an IEP meeting, because the IEP team does what? Create the program, decide on the placement, and monitor the progress. You want to take your child out of special ed. That means you want to do what to the program? Eliminate it. So you go to the IEP meeting, you tell them, I no longer want my child here. He don't need it. Should have never been here. Only reason why y'all put him in here is for behavior. I want him out. And guess what they got to do? They got a decision to make. They got a decision to make. They will either grant your request, which means you're going to sign an authorization to remove your child from special ed service, to discontinue special ed service, right? The other option they have is to do what? They can take you to due process with the state of Tennessee. That means what? Where's the state capital? This is it? Nashville? Oh shit, I gotta get out. You know they got that Black Identity Extremism Task Force looking for me. So what they do is they contact Tennessee State Department of Education, Nashville, right? And they will file a complaint against you. It will say something like, we have a parent whose child has a learning disability. They want the child removed from special ed. We believe the child needs to remain in special ed. At that point, the state education office will send out a hearing officer. A hearing officer. What is a hearing officer? Let me tell you what a hearing officer is. We don't have enough judges in America to hear every special ed case. We don't have enough judges in America to hear every special ed case. So guess what they do? If there's not enough judges, guess what they do? They go and get retired principal, retired superintendent, retired psychologists, and they give them the power of a judge to hear complaints. And they will decide, as if they were a judge, what is in the best interest of your child. So, they will call you to a meeting with State Department of Ed. And the hearing officer will hear your reasons why you want your child out of special ed. And then they will hear the school's reasons for why they want to keep them in special ed. And then the hearing officer will decide whether they agree with you or whether they agree with the school. Everybody heard me? You know what I like most about special ed due process hearings? You don't need a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer. If you know your child and know your case, you don't need no lawyer. In fact, you better be careful before you get one. Why Dr. Umar say you gotta be careful before you get a lawyer to help you fight for your child with the public school? Because the lawyers have relationships with the white folks in the school. Did y'all hear that? How about the lawyer is dating your son's teacher? Oh yes, I've seen it. I've seen parents get screwed over by lawyers because they're not on your side. They on the side of the system. Maybe we got a black educational attorney in Nashville that's not a coon that we can use. But parents, if you got a child that's been evaluated and you don't agree with the evaluation, two things you should do. I'm gonna say it again. Your child was tested by the school in Nashville. They came back retarded, reading disability, math disability, emotional disability. You don't agree though. You don't think he got a problem. What should you do? Two things you can do. First thing is you call me. Dr. Umar, I'm gonna fax you my son's report. I need you to look it over and tell me if you agree with this, because I don't really think he got a reading problem. Remember, can you prove a reading disability? No. Can you prove a math disability? No. Can you prove emotional disturbance? No. Can you prove mental retardation? No. They are opinions. And why is the school's opinion any more valid than your opinion? Which takes me to another point. Black mothers, listen up. I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to do me a favor. 2 favors I need from every black mother here. Besides going natural, I need all y'all to go natural. That's the first favor. Damn that. I'll be back in Memphis October 5th. There's a state of emergency survival conference in Memphis October 5th. I'll be keynoting that. If you need the flyer, just text me for the Memphis flyer. I need every black woman to be natural when I see you in Memphis. I'm gonna bald your damn head. Now, stop laughing. Now, 2 things I need every black mother to do. 3 things. Number 1, don't go to the school by yourself no more. I said that already. Don't go to the school by yourself. Why don't I want you to go to the school by yourself? Because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna sit you in a chair just like that. And then they're gonna let you sweat for 15 minutes by yourself. And then after 15 minutes of that black mother sitting in the office by herself, 20 KKK members disguised as teachers are gonna walk in. 1 black mom, right? You, 15 whites, and 1 coon. There's always a coon. They're gonna bring the principal, the vice principal, the principal intern, the dean of students, the school nurse, the school counselor, school social worker, school psychologist, home and school, grade leader, math specialist, reading specialist, bus driver, trash man, windows, basketball coach. For 1 black mother. Why do they bring all these people to deal with 1 black mother? To scare you, intimidate you, and most of all, make you think that they know your child better than you. And I want every black mother in here to hear me well. Nobody knows your child better than you. Let me say it again. Nobody knows your child better than you. Let me say it one more time. Nobody knows your child better than you. Now, I'm the greatest school psychologist in history. And guess what? I don't know your child better than you. When I take your child into my office, I might spend 2 days with your child. 2 days. You've been with them their whole life. So when somebody tells you, I think he retarded, and you know he ain't, then you don't sign that paper. See, the problem with us, we still scared of white folks. We still scared of white folks. So when white folks say something wrong with our kid, yes, master, and you sign. And you got to stop doing it. So stop signing. Don't take nobody's advice over your own intuition. Don't go to the school by yourself. And don't trust the black folks in the school. Did y'all hear that? I said, don't trust the black folks in the school. Did you hear me? I said, don't trust black folks in your child's school. I hate to say it, but I work in the schools, and the main people working behind your back without your knowledge, smiling in your face, is the black folks. That's right. That's right. Queen Mother Shea Butter. The home and school person. Hair locks smelling like frankincense, green smoothie, King Tut t-shirt on. She the main one setting your ass up. Don't trust black folks. You can't trust them. You cannot trust them, I'm telling y'all. See, that's how they get y'all. Because you go into the school and your son principal, he got a strong black man. Yes, Raheem got a black man. He got Shaka Zulu in the back. Big old Zulu spear. Run DMC Adidas on. That don't mean a damn thing. He got a white girl at home. Sit down. And what else I need black mothers not to do anymore? Y'all listening, black moms? I'm not picking on y'all, but y'all the ones taking care of the kids. The brothers ain't there. Not because they don't want to be, but because the white man got a war against the black man. All right? And I thank y'all sisters because y'all been doing a good job. Y'all have been doing a great job holding down the house. Wait a minute. Most of y'all been doing a good job. Because some of y'all is trifling. Let me explain this to y'all. What is the #1 job of a black parent raising a black child? Every one of you in here got children. I got a 17-year-old daughter. I got an 8-year-old daughter. All right? What is the job of a black parent, man or woman? Our #1 job is to teach our children discipline. D-I-S-C-I-P-L-I-N-E. Discipline. Every one of you I will judge how good of a parent you are based on the discipline that your child has. And what is Dr. Umar's definition of discipline? It is the ability to make your child do what they don't want to do when it got to be done, whether they like it or not. How many of you can say that your child is at home right now doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing? How many of y'all can say that your son or daughter has the discipline to turn off the cell phone, turn off the TV, and get their homework done? Life is about discipline. And the black male will be destroyed to the extent that he doesn't have any social control. That's right. That's right. And to my black mothers raising boys, there's a special relationship between a mama and a boy. I know because I'm the oldest boy of 5 boys, right? There's a special relationship between the mama and the boys, right? You love your boys, right? Love them! But guess what, black mother? You can't love him more than you love his future because he will lose it if you don't do your job. Right. See, we got some black mothers who are so in love with their son that they don't know how to raise him. We got some black mothers who are so in love with their little boy that they spoil him rotten, and he will be no good for somebody else's daughter later in life.
Okay.
I'm just telling y'all the truth.
Come on, man.
I'm just telling y'all the truth. And then some of y'all got the audacity to say you want a good black man. You want a strong, dependable, hard-working, committed, respectful of black woman, black man. This is what y'all tell me, right? So can I ask you a question? If you want this type of black man for yourself, why are you raising this type of black man for somebody else?
Man, come on now.
Right. That's good.
What are you saying, Dr. Umar Johnson? I'm saying that too many black women are raising their sons to be the type of men that they would never want to marry their damn self.
Exactly.
That's what I said. You could quote me. He's a damn mama's boy, 30 years old, still a damn mama's boy. Hey, left your damn house yet. It ain't going to leave it. You don't want him to leave.
Right.
Because that's your baby. You pay his child support, you pay his bills. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say a mother can't look out for her son when he's on hard times. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about when you got a perfectly able black male who is unencumbered by any type of a criminal record. And the only reason why he's still in your house is because his ass is lazy. And then y'all run around and say it ain't no good black men. You know why?
They ain't raising them. Man, what you said?
I'm not going to let the black men off the hook either. Brothers got to get it together. We need more discipline. We need to choose the women we date more patiently. We have to stop getting emotional with our baby moms. And we have to respect black women a lot more than we do.
All right.
See, if a man ever disrespects you, he better never see you again. Do you understand that? One and done. You don't take it back. Certain things don't get forgiven. Right? If a man puts his hands on you, he can't see you again. And do you know why? Because the #1 predictor of what he want to do tomorrow is what he did today.
Yes, sir.
And too many black women are taking back domestically abusive men. You can't take them back. No man wakes up and just beats on a woman. That was put in his head. And most of the time he was raised in a house where he saw his mother get beat on. Stop co-signing domestic violence. Speaking of domestic violence, we have a lot of child sexual violence. And do you know why we got so much child sexual violence? Because y'all leave y'all kids with anybody when you want to go to the club. I said y'all need to learn how to choose y'all babysitters better. Because I'm getting sick and tired of running across little black kids who are being molested, and most of the time they're being molested by other black kids.
Yeah.
I wonder why we got girls who want to do this and boys who want to do this. I ain't going to get all into it because we're in a public park, but y'all know what I'm talking about. It gets introduced to them as children. curiosity. People introduce ideas that they want to experiment with, and the next thing you know, they turned all out.
Man.
One more thing for black mothers, and then I'm going to wrap it on up. If y'all want a copy of my book, I only brought 40 copies, Psychoacademic Holocaust. I also brought some unapologetically African t-shirts, but you can't wear that if you got a white girlfriend. Black mothers, the other thing I need y'all to stop doing. Stop going to the school with your damn pajamas on. Did you hear me? That is the ghettoest thing I've ever seen in my life. 8 o'clock in the morning, and you show up with SpongeBob pajamas on, SpongeBob footies on, lips all dry, makeup smeared, sleep in your eye, with an old nasty bonnet on your head like you're protecting something beautiful.
Speed.
Do you know what you're telling white folks when you show up in your pajamas? You're telling them, I don't have a job, I don't have a life, I have nothing to do. And as soon as I drop my child off, I'm going to go back home and
Get back in bed. Man.
That's all you telling white folks. And some of y'all are going to say, so what? I don't care what they think about me. You don't have to. I don't care what they think about me either. However, the child of an unemployed mother is 5 times as likely to be suspended. The child of an unemployed, if they know you at home with no job, those suspensions will go through the roof. If they know there's no father at home, that ADHD recommendation will be popping off every week. Stop letting them know your family business. Black mother, stop letting them know that you don't have a husband. I can smell the feminism out here. I can smell the we hate black men movement out here. I don't even know why a black woman is a feminist in the first place. Do you know who started feminism? A white woman. And do you know who paid her to start feminism? The CIA. And do you know why the CIA paid the white woman to start feminism that all y'all running after? So that they could destroy the family, so they could have direct access to the minds of the children. The hell out of here with some feminism. Everything white folks make up, we want to go running. Feminism, multiculturalism. What the hell is multiculturalism? Ain't a Chinese in Tennessee trying to be multicultural. When the last time you seen an Arab being multicultural? The only multicultural person in Tennessee is you. You want to be with everybody, but don't nobody like you. The hell out of here. Chinese don't like black folks. And y'all better stop buying them damn Chinese food. That Chinese food ain't no good. Have you ever seen them damn chicken wings they sell you? Does that look like a chicken in your ass? You know what they look like? They look like fingers. Those are fingers. No damn chicken wings. With that black grease. They ain't changed the grease since your grandma was buying chicken. You've been shopping there for 50 years and still can't get a discount. You 1 nickel short. No, we cannot sound.
Damn.
And then some of y'all got y'all kids at the white private school in the suburbs of Nashville thinking they getting a better education because they learning Chinese. What the hell wrong with you? No Chinese want to have no conversation with your child. At the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, you know what we teaching?
What we teaching?
We teaching African languages. That's what we teaching.
Mm.
You know what we teaching? We teaching agricultural science. Every child will learn how to dig up the ground and plant their own fruit and vegetable. You don't graduate from my school unless you know how to procure a life.
Man, okay.
You know what else we teach? Military science.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to my new Black Panther Party brothers. Military, yeah. I got a lot of respect for the Panthers. Unlike a lot of organizations who talk, they actually do. Right? We're going to teach your son the art of military science. They're going to learn how to shoot. They're going to learn how to stab. They're going to learn how to kick, punch, snap, and everything else. Because that's the world we live in.
Yes, it is.
I'm not violent. I don't ever want to be violent. But I know the white man is very violent.
Man.
And because of that, I got to make sure your son is able to protect his mother's life, his sister's life, his wife's life, and his daughter's life.
Right.
Had a Negro talking about, why you want to teach them how to use guns for? The white boys is 5 years old, got their first gun. European Jews get a gun right after they bar mitzvah. Everybody got a damn gun except our boys. Hell out of here. They're going to learn how to shoot. Because the power of God is at the barrel of a gun. You ever want to see a Negro stop in plain sight, pull out a damn 45 on his ass? That's God. That's God. And then we're going to teach military science. That means I got to teach your children the rules of racism. What are the rules of racism, Nashville? I'm going to give you 3 rules of racism. It's more than 3, but I'm going to give you the main 3. Rule number 1, introduction to racism. Rule number 1, all white people are racist. Look at y'all, I got quiet as hell out here because y'all love white folks. Y'all Southern, this is the Southern Negro in Tennessee. I'm dealing with the Southern Negro. All white people are racist. Your best friend, your girlfriend, your co-worker, your next door neighbor, your fraternity sister, they're all racist. Ain't a white person on earth not racist. Now let me tell you why you don't agree with what I just said. You know why you don't agree with what I just said? Because you was raised with a white Jesus. Your brain can accept that because you've been praying to a white man for your whole life. But not only that, when I say all white people are racist, y'all think I mean all white people hate black people. I didn't say that, did I? Because you don't know what racism is. Racism is not emotions. Racism is not hatred. Racism is not yelling the N-word at black folks. Do you know what racism is about? 2 things. 3 things. Power, privilege, and resource control. Did you hear that? Power, privilege, and research control. They will sex you, love you, work with you, come to your baby's birthday party, buy you gifts, help you get a house, get you off the street, but they will never, ever, ever, ever. There's not a white person who will ever fight to eliminate their white privilege so you can become equal.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. I'll debate anybody on. Ain't a white person ever lived that tried to allow you to be equal with them. That's right. Even during slavery, we had the white abolitionists, didn't we? They fought to end slavery. But guess what happened after they ended slavery? Frederick went to William Lloyd Garrison and said, Mr. Garrison, black people ain't free. The chains is off, but we still ain't got the vote. We ain't got a job. We ain't got an education. And guess what William Lloyd Garrison, the so-called white father of the anti-slavery movement, told Frederick Douglass? He said, I fought against slavery because I thought it was wrong. I didn't fight against slavery to make y'all equal with us. That's right, y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. What's the second rule of racism? White folks don't share power with black folks. Never have, never will. Why is that relevant to y'all? Because right now, Nashville, Tennessee is in the midst of a major gentrification, real estate, racism takeover by Caucasians.
Yeah, it is.
They coming into ghettos where they would never even be caught walking 30 years ago. They buying up every corner store, every vacant house lot, drug house. They call it gentrification. You know what I call it? I call it what it really is. Ethnic cleansing. It ain't moving black folks out. But when you go downtown Nashville, you see big signs talking about the new Nashville. We will live together as one. And you silly Negroes believe that.
Hell no.
White folks ain't coming here to share with you. They're gonna move your ass on out. They doing it in Philadelphia. Neighborhood I grew up in don't even look like North Philly no more. They did it in Washington, D.C. They doing it in Detroit, Chicago, all the major cities. They pushing black folks out. And guess who I blame? 2 people I blame for this. Y'all ready? Who does Dr. Umar blame for the gentrification in Nashville? I blame the black preachers and the black politicians. Let me talk about them 2 Negroes for me. And let me first of all say, not every preacher is guilty. You might have a good one or 2, but that's it. Not all politicians are guilty. You might have a good black politician or 2 in Nashville, but you're not giving me 3. That's a damn lie. Let me tell you why black preachers are at the top of my list for sellouts. Because the black church is the only institution in the black community that takes thousands of dollars out the community every single Sunday, and they don't put any of it back in the community.
What he said.
So how is the black church any better than the Chinese store, the Jewish bank, the Anglo-Saxon supermarket, the Arab gas station, the Latino poppy shop? The black church is a exploitative, parasitic institution. And I know y'all hate me saying that because y'all think I'm talking about Jesus. I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about people who claim to be doing the work of Jesus, but they're really doing the work of the devil. Let me keep going. Where does every church in Nashville put their money that they steal from black folks every Sunday? Where does it go? Whose bank? Does it go into a black bank? It goes into a white bank, don't it? So let me get this straight. Your black church that you can't wait to go to tomorrow morning, Reverend Pork Chop, Deacon Watermelon, Bishop Cheesesteak, you're going to go there tomorrow, and you're going to give him $50, $100, $20, and he's going to take all your black Jesus money, and he's going to take it to a white bank. Look at this. Who is giving white people the loans that they're using to buy up your community? The white bank. Where's the white bank getting the money from that they're giving to white people to push you out your community?
The black church.
Black church.
Man, come on now.
The black church is funding the ethnic cleansing of black people. But you're not going to ask your pastor to put the money in a black bank because you don't really care. You don't have a black consciousness. You a coon. You're not going to go to the black church and say, listen, why don't all the black churches in Nashville unite and start a liberation bank for the black community? Why haven't all the churches come together, the so-called Nashville black clergy, and open up a black bank and put all the Jesus money in the black bank so the church's money can finally do God's work instead of the devil's? I'll tell you why they never gonna do that. Because every preacher in Nashville is the puppet of a politician. Let me say it again. Every preacher in Nashville, he ain't serving God, he's serving the state senator. He ain't serving Jesus, he's serving the governor. He ain't serving the Bible, he's serving the U.S. senator, the state senator, the councilman, the alderman. His ass is for sale. The hell out of here. And then every time I gotta go speak in the church, they wanna call me up. Well, I gotta let you come because the people want you. But we have some reservations about your message. Why? Because this is the church. I said, I'm not gonna talk about Jesus, but I will talk about you because you Satan. Here's my problem with the black church. Any religious leader that tells me I have to die in order to go to heaven is a leader I don't need. You know why? Because the Chinese got his heaven in Nashville right now. And the Arab got his heaven in Nashville right now. And the Latino got his heaven in Nashville right now. And the Mexican got his heaven in Nashville right now. And the European Jew got his heaven in Nashville right now. They are successful, they are happy, they own wealth, institutions, their children's future is procured. Why am I the only person in Nashville who got to die to go to heaven when everybody else heaven is right now? Now let me talk about these pimp-ass politicians. Can I ask y'all a question? I like being outside, this is fun. I needed this. Y'all make sure y'all donate to my school. All y'all got my number, you gonna text me for the address to mail in a check or money order.
Yes, sir.
All right? Text me with the address. I need them donations. We gotta get that school up and running. We have a beautiful campus, y'all. The Frederick Douglass building has 20 classrooms.
My phone about to die,
A
y'all.
large
So me and my son out here with the book.
a large lunchroom.
Black
The
Conscious in
Marcus
America.
Garvey School, because we got 2 schools,
the movement.
got 12
Love y'all. Thanks for
classrooms.
tuning in.
We got another
Peace and
gym.
love.
I'm telling you that the Frederick
Yeah,
Douglass
stay tuned.
Marcus Garvey Academy, one